Hello, my name is Preston, and I have a story I want to share with you today. Recently, I was at a Christian youth camp. One of the leaders I brought up had a specific issue with how few minorities were found at this camp. He is Hispanic, which made him catch this fact that he stood out easier than I did. The camp is quite pricey to attend, which excludes a lot of people who might not have the wealth. This issue brought up two things with the landscape of Christianity and churches. First, there is a wealth gap that allows primarily those with money to access God on a week-long trip, and this wealth gap has excluded most communities rather than how the body of Christ actually looks, which is quite diverse. There are churches in every part of the world, in every continent. We have entered into the ends of the earth attempting to spread the gospel. There are Christians of every type of culture, races, and ethnicities. Yet, when looking at the American church, there can still be walls that separate the brothers and sisters of Christ from one another. Some of those are unwittingly put up like a cost to a certain event. Other things could be an event is made by a person not thinking of anybody else in mind, and it ends up being only facilitated to a certain type of race or culture. For example, a Kentucky Derby fundraising event would most likely have a large number of Caucasians, as this is American Southern culture. To fix this issue, I think we need to look at the story of the Good Samaritan. A man is beaten on the road, and 3 different times people pass him. One was a priest, and the other was the same people as him, and the third was an enemy of the people. The enemy is the one who stopped to help this man. He put him in a hotel and paid for his care. This story stands out as it asks the question, who is our neighbor? When living in such a multi-diverse world, that question ethnically looks very different than it did during biblical times. In biblical times, the people around were more limited in their cultures and colors due to geographic limitations around travel at the time. Now, going to the grocery store in America, you will cross paths with more cultures of people than someone would have met in biblical times. Like the Good Samaritan, how can we see past color and culture to just see our neighbor? I believe that work starts on making an effort in the church world to be more inclusive. I don't mean that we need to specifically target a group of people to bring them to church because we want to look more diverse, an action some churches and places of business have been guilty of. Rather, we need to start getting to know our brothers and sisters' longings and losses, finding things that interest them, and not just making an event that appeals to one race, but having an event that is truly a fun outreach. Going back to the camp issue at the start of the story, I cannot make this camp lower their prices, but I can look for a camp that is cheaper. This would allow for our fundraised scholarships to go a lot farther, allowing for full rides for students who would otherwise not afford this. This is an effort my church is actively trying to do. Our church does not reflect the part of town it is in. Now we have started to make efforts to reach the part of town intentionally we are in and truly caring for our neighbor, and hopefully other churches start doing the same.